What's up everyone, this is Stealth Hoops with my very first video on this channel. This channel will mainly focus on NBA news, trends, predictions, analysis, and pretty much anything that's interesting. I may also throw out a couple videos that focus more of the unknown or uncovered contents in the NBA as well. And hopefully if things do start to get running, I will also post up to 2 or 3 new videos every single week. That's the plan. And with that being said, I hope you guys liked the first video. I would greatly appreciate the support as I try this new thing out, and with that being said, let's jump into today's topic. With headlines in the NBA media focusing mainly on the likes of superstars such as Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Paul George, an entire league pretty much embarking on an all-out arms race that was influenced by the multiple moves that helped Toronto secure their first championship, nobody's really talking about this one team that may just be one of the top contenders in the Western Conference. And I'm talking about a probable top 3 seeded team that continues to remain blanketed by the overall hype surrounding other newly formed powerhouses throughout the NBA. And this team is no other than Salt Lake City's very finest, the Utah Jazz. Not too long ago, 6 years to be exact, the Utah Jazz were pretty much a deadbeat team that finished last in the Western Conference, scoring just 95 points per game, which was, at the time, second to last in the entire league. They had no defense, they had no offense. So how did they right the ship in such a short amount of time? Enter finalist for the 2018 Coach of the Year, Quinn Snyder, who came in and immediately fired things up by allowing a young Gordon Hayward to develop himself into a polished and versatile offensive weapon, or the one he used to be. Enter young Rudy Gobert, who is now becoming a monster on both ends of the floor, while churning out a double-double on a nightly basis. Entered Spider Donovan Mitchell, who more or less filled in the void that Hayward left. Enter a contributing supporting cast such as Jingles, Derek Favors, Korver, Rodney Hood, Rubio. And the Jazz made the playoffs in 3 consecutive years, all at the 5th seed. Now known as a team with superior defense and a decent enough offense, the Jazz were now causing trouble in the competitive Western Conference. Despite the supreme defense and the decent offense, it was pretty clear. The Utah Jazz simply needed more firepower to transcend to the championship contention level with teams such as Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, who possess the league's best 115 and 114.9 points per 100 possessions respectively. Mitchell's efficiency suffered as he was forced to take on the burden of being the team's primary playmaker while being guarded by the opposing team's best defender night in and night out. Jingles did step up to the plate by offering bombs for the 3-point range, but that simply wasn't going to cut it. The Jazz needed more offense. Now this offseason, the Jazz front office did everything they could to remedy the team's lack of elite and dependable scoring options. And I believe they have done a fantastic job in bringing in the missing puzzle pieces for a serious championship contention. I'm confident in Quinn Snyder's abilities to mesh these pieces together to make an already deadly team even scarier. What is even more frightening is that very few people are currently talking about the Jazz. I am certain that this team will surprise other teams with superstar-studded duos throughout the entire league. The Jazz recently signed veteran point guard Mike Conley, which has mostly gone unnoticed or ignored in the mainstream free agent conversation this summer. I mean, it's true. Conley has never been an all-star in a day of his life, but what is also true is that he has just averaged a career best 21 points per game, shooting an absolutely clean 43.8% from the field as a 31-year-old. The reason he is able to do this is because Conley never really relied on pure athleticism or pure physicality that some of the other players were gifted with. At 6'1", he has found a way to score anywhere on the court by reading the defense and causing an absolute havoc using his craftiness. He will give Mitchell the much needed fire support and will also help alleviate the elite defensive pressure that he faces night in and night out. Rubio's passing abilities will not be entirely missed because Conley is still an above average passer himself, actually averaging more assists than Rubio last season. The only difference now is that teams will be scrambling to cover the Utah Jazz's starting point guard who is wide open at the top of the key. So how will Conley exactly help the Jazz's lackluster offense besides his shot-making abilities? Now, this dude's an absolute stud at the pick and roll, which is a skill that meshes almost perfectly with the Jazz. While in the Grizzlies, Conley and Gasol made a fortune at the pick and roll, as Mike averaged almost a point a game for every pick and roll possession. Now, Gobert is also known for his ability and tendency to operate the screen as well. Matter of fact, he had 3,309 screens last season, which is around 500 more than the next player. Now, people have also drawn comparisons of Gobert's screen to the trigger of a gun. His screen pretty much initiates most of Jazz's offense, with a pick for their playmakers or a kick-out pass for the 3-point marksman. With Conley, I can already picture the endless opportunities that would simply become unstoppable and give Jazz this much-needed boost for their arsenal. Conley thrives in the paint, shooting elite efficiencies off the pick or the dribble. He has shot 48.3% from the 5 to 9 feet range, 42.8% from the 10 to 14 feet range, and 43.8% for the 15 to 19 feet range. It's pretty simple. The Jazz will become deadly with both Conley and Mitchell being able to utilize the infinite pick and roll capabilities. Now, last but not least, people continue to overlook Conley due to his lack of overall accolades. He hasn't made an all-star team yet, but his defense can be commended by his All-NBA defensive second team selection during the 2012 to 2013 season. While this was definitely achieved a while back, Conley still boasts an above-average perimeter defense that will further reinforce one of Jazz's primary strengths. Now let's examine other offseason additions and how they will impact the Jazz's next season. The Jazz signed guard Emmanuel Mudiay for a one-year deal. Though Mudiay definitely had one of the league's worst or lowest efficiencies in the past due to his awful shooting, he is still a versatile playmaker that can prove to be valuable off the bench for his size, creativity, and athleticism. The Jazz also signed Bogey Bogdanovic to a 4-year, $30 million deal. At a glance, this deal may not age well due to the fact that Bogey is already 30 years old, but seeing what he can do to provide a team in terms of scoring, spacing, and general versatility with the Pacers is definitely a welcoming sign for the Jazz's upcoming season. I'm definitely excited to see what Bogey can bring to the court to further increase the Jazz's offense and which lineups Quinn Snyder may employ for balance. The all-offensive lineup is currently Conley, Mitchell, Ingles, Bogey, and Gobert, but Snyder may switch Jeff Green in with Bogey if the bench needs more of an offensive spark. The Jazz also bolstered the bench with a combination of playmakers and veteran role players. Dante Exum when he's healthy, and Emmanuel Mudiay will serve as a backup 1 or 2 guard, Jeff Green as a reserve wing or forward, and veteran Ed Davis as a backup center. With these offseason additions to an already competitive team, I believe the Jazz may finish either as the 3rd or 4th seed in the Western Conference. Hopefully you learned something today and found this interesting and insightful, and I want to thank you for making it this far in the video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys soon.